poor people, it's us, the Maddock twins.
Bartholomew.
And I'm Clementine. And today we had a marvelous idea that so our parents are out right now. They're doing one of their other movies yet again. They're basically never here. And they leave their entire alcohol stash up to us. And we figured there's one part of it that we have not gone into yet. And that's the wine cellar. So I've taken the liberty of bringing up all the bottles of wine in our house. And we're going to test them here for you.
Yes.
So, how about we start ourselves off? We got a lovely. This is a lovely 2016 year a wind whistle vintage Cuvée Moscato. Yeah, this is completely unopened, sealed from the glorious year of 2016. These stupid bitch ass gloves. Bartholomew, fucking open this. Yeah, so we're a little bit stupid, but you don't need to know that because we have enough money to make it so we're not. So,
correct.
As I was saying, this is Wind Whistle, a nice 2016 year. Ooh, give that a good sniff. From the earth. Give it a nice pour, shall we?
If I had to say, it smells a lot like Grandma.
Ah, good old Grandma. I swear she better give me the house when she dies.
Same considered.
Alright, well let's see here. It's got a nice, well, I do believe this looks like poor people's piss, but it smells like something.
Yes, as I said, it reminds me of Grandmother's house.
It's got a very, how should I describe? Borderline bitter, I guess, but in a good way, I would say.
I'd say the taste, there's a faint sign, I'd say, of some sort of fruit. I can't pin it precisely.
I see what you mean. It's got like a almost borderline berry taste to it, but mixed with like vines from the garden. Not a bad first go. Wind Whistle, I say you're a pretty middle ground house wine.
Yes.
But we have many more, so let's move on, shall we? Alright, glasses are rinsed, and we are moving on to the next bottle.
Of course, mixing is
Alright.
foolish.
Alright, Bartholomew. Right now we got a Rio Madre Riojo Dominicana de Origen California Graciano. Now, I don't speak that fancy language, but this one's not piss-colored. So, it's a 2012 year, so even earlier than the 2016 White Whistle. Wind Whistle, sorry.
Yes, well, you know what they say, with the age of the wine comes great taste, and from the sounds of it, seems to come from outside of our country.
Let's crack into this, shall we?
I'm very curious how this will turn out. I've never had too much experience with the foreign worlds, but I've heard under the right circumstances they can have exquisite taste. Simply remove the cork.
Love that sound. Alright, let's give it a good whiff. Whoa, that smells like straight gasoline.
Yes.
Just when I thought it couldn't get any more piss-flavored.
Reminds me.
This is a good red wine, a nice change at the very least.
Reminds me of the vehicle that the children down the street take.
Yeah, it's a nice red wine. I definitely wonder how this will compare to the last, considering it is 2012 instead of 2016. Oh wow, I can't even begin to say how fucking terrible that is.
Smells like gasoline and tastes like it too. Blech.
I'm gonna have to say that out of the two, that's definitely, Wind Whistle's definitely still in the lead. See, if you can't pronounce the name right, how is it going to be good? You don't even know what you're getting into.
With rinsing out the glass, I'm gonna have to rinse off my taste buds.
I wouldn't blame you. Alright, up next we have a Sterling Vintners Collection Chardonnay from 2014.
Yes. I've heard of this.
Oh, it seems like simple enough. Let us crack into this, shall we? So, Bartholomew, I know you don't usually drink, but if you had to say your go-to drink, what would you say it is?
I've had the concoction that the common folk refer to as a screwdriver. Not sure why you would name a drink after such a greasy tool, but I think it does the job.
Sorry, Bartholomew, it appears that I am stupid and can't twist right.
I will say though, that for me personally, both of the components will have to be of higher end to compete.
That one was a bit of a bitch to open.
Yes, perhaps they need to invest in wider corks.
I don't like that this smells like a combination of the last two. I don't know whether that's going to be good or bad.
I'm picking up an even stronger fruit scent within it. So.
Maybe that'll combat it. Definitely a white wine.
Yes, do. Very difficult to describe.
That feels like if the Rio people tried to make Wind Whistle.
Not nearly as repulsive, but I believe the Wind Whistle did it better.
Wind Whistle, I definitely say, is still in the lead right now. This one wasn't terrible. It's definitely not as bad as Rio, but it's definitely not as good as Wind Whistle.
I would be able to stomach this one, but I'm afraid that's just going to have to be a barely.
Agreed.
Well, I will say that last bottle needs to invest in better corks. We almost snapped it in half.
Honestly, I feel like if you're buying a nice bottle of wine, you should at least make sure the cork is good. But technically, this is from the same brand. This is also Sterling, but instead of a 2014 year, this is a 2013 year.
Any other details that the folks should know about?
It's a Meritage red wine. It's the care put into crafting. So I wonder what 1 year's difference will make to the taste. Also, the last one was a white wine. This one is another red, so that also might contribute a bit.
Yes. Very different. The same name, but you must really know the fine line between them.
The sound never gets old. No matter how shitty the wine is, the sound is always great. And I'd say that's something really respectable.
That one was very, very pronounced.
This is, I'd say, the best smelling one so far. It smells kind of desserty. Maybe this one's going to be a more desserty red wine. That's usually my favorite because I'm a big ass bitch.
Almost pleasant.
Ooh, this is a very deep red compared to the last one.
Yes, the good sound, the fine sound of a poured wine.
Not terrible. Is it better than the last red wine we had? The last red wine we had is Rio.
I would say compared to the Rio, this one is the superior. However,
it's still no Wind Whistle.
I'm starting to think maybe, I don't know, perhaps For my person, I just don't really agree with it, but to me, it's still on the low end.
I would also agree that it's on the low end. Alright, so this next bottle is really interesting. I'm not even going to attempt the name here. But see, when I was looking into this, there's like some little guys floating in there.
It's a fine scribe.
Maybe they'll add some extra flavor. Let's crack into it, shall we?
Yes, though, the name on the bottle is written in a fine scribe. I have no doubt that at least the inspiration for the text was a fine calligrapher, probably known for writing at least moderate scripture. As for the actual product here, I suppose we will have to see how it holds up.
See, this is why I pay people to do this for me, because what the fuck is this bullshit? You son of an actual bitch.
Oh yeah. Blast.
If this is terrible, we should find the people that made it, sue their ass, and kill their family. Because what is this nonsense?
The cork is broken halfway down the middle. Very weak.
I'm gonna kill this person. I have the money to get away with it. Perhaps the cork will add us a little bit of extra flavor. I'm already not having point with the fact that there's little doodads floating in here, but who knows? We shall see. Whoa. This is different. This came out rather orange, in fact.
Yes, I dare.
This is unlike anything we've seen yet so far.
I dare.
This bottle's full of mystery.
I dare say through the sheen of your clear glass that the color resembles that which many would call a rose gold.
It really does. I guess, well, it's been nothing but disappointment so far, so I guess we should see how it tastes. Oh. You know, I don't hate that.
The kick is rather strong and of something I don't know if I fully agree with, but I'd say at the very least this would join the wind whistle in the top two.
I definitely should think so, and I suppose I'll let you off this once, although you should really get a better cork.
I will say, let me take a look. I could probably read this a little better.
It's a nice 2012 year. They keep getting further and further back.
I don't know. The scripture is a little out of my reach, but I will just show it for you. I'd say you got something going for you. Just invest in a better cork, please.
Honestly. Alright, so next here we got a 2014 Chardonnay. This one, nothing too special about it, doesn't even have a back label. This one could either be nice and classic good or nice and classic terrible.
Yes, I can only see
Only
the two
time will
options.
tell.
Also, we did fail to mention it, but the last one with the fancy scribed label, what did you say it was? A product of Italy?
Yes. I suppose that also adds points. Like we said, it's the second best one so far.
So, as for you...
You see that? It's not that hard to do a cork right.
So as for the fine winemakers in Italy, I'd say you have an idea in the right direction. Just perhaps if you make contact, and perhaps we could invest in better cork manufacturing.
Not really digging the vibe of this one, Bartholomew, I gotta be honest.
Let me have a whiff. It resembles some of the other ones.
The weird thing about all of them, though, is while a lot of them are similar, none of them are exactly identical.
Yes. So at the very least, they're trying to put their own spin. I don't think the video device is picking it up quite right, but in the bottle, it actually has a somewhat orange tinge if you hold it up in the right way.
Ah, yes, I do see what you mean.
In the glass,
Honestly, a bit of a pear color to this one.
in the glass, however, as you have just stated, the diluted lighter amount has dimmed the color down to something of a pear's juice. Which I will say, as common as the fruit is, I will say the juice of it is something I enjoy.
That one was far too tart for me.
I'd say it's okay. However,
It's not as bad as Rio.
Not as bad as Rio. I'd say personally, because every fine person has their own taste. A true scholar would understand this fact.
Of course.
But so that leads into the fact that for me, I'd say this is probably within the top 3, and I will say that it isn't terrible, but I'd say it probably gets the bronze medal for me, because the reason it is not terrible for me is because it doesn't seem to pack much of a taste in the first place.
That's a very fair point, brother.
So, I suppose if you don't have a taste that can be terrible, that is superior to just being terrible.
Well said. So we're on the last one right now. Bartholomew, I have a bit of a problem with this.
Do tell.
So you know how all of these other years have been like 2016, 2015, 12, 13, you know? Nothing really past 16.
Yes.
This is 2020. And not only is the newer the wine, usually the worse it is.
Yes. Well,
If you have half a brain, you know 2020 was the devil's year.
yes, anyone would say, well, they always do say that, with the wine's age comes better taste, so starting off in a mere half-decade ago, not the greatest sign, and as you have said, 2020 was just, it was
Not a
riddled.
good year for anyone.
It was riddled with the worst energy. Almost, I have to say, even of someone of my standard, even I felt bad for everyone involved.
God, I definitely felt bad. Our stocks went down like 20%. There could be some pre-COVID error in here, and I'm a little nervous. Well, this is to maybe starting the third COVID variant.
Its age may prove disgusting, but I will at least give it the fact that its pop was rather pronounced.
This is the best smelling one so far for sure. It smells way more sweet. Perhaps 2020 will give us something good yet.
Perhaps.
Oh, wow. This is the reddest one we've gotten so far.
As you pour me off, though, I will say I shall keep my skepticism up.
Probably for the better.
I shall keep my entire being braced for the possible taste, because I am fully prepared that it will probably be repulsive.
Ah. Like the year 2020, that is bitter and disappointing.
Yes. I kept my walls up and it was for a good reason. I would not say that was the best.
This is what I get for every time trying to give COVID the benefit of the doubt.
I will say one thing though. I'd say now that we have dabbled in all of the wines, at least of the area that we had searched, I will say the worst one probably of all of them was the Rio.
Worst one? Best one.
I'd have to agree.
Well, I really hope you poor people have enjoyed watching us taste all this dog shit. And it's no wonder all these poor people always go to wine to begin with. I said at the beginning, this was the one alcohol I hadn't gotten into yet, and I think that was for good reason, and I would have been a lot better off had I have not gone into it. And this fucking bitch is blocking my beautiful face.
Yes, I'd have to say I'm willing to keep this one in the spotlight because it was the best. However, I'd say as a form, wine is... I'd say I'd rather keep it out. Most of these just came off as terrible, and it's leaving this feeling in my stomach that's saying I have to eat simply to get it out.
Yes, it was definitely, well, it was something. Disappointing, but something nonetheless. And, I think I'm gonna go steal, 3K from Dad's underwear drawer. And on that note, this is us, and you are poor. Goodbye.